Hi, I'm Gavin Prentice. I'm the Bushland Management Officer for the Southern Region for Yarra Ranges Council. We're here today at Upwey South Reserve. I'd like to respectfully acknowledge the Wurundjeri people who are the original custodians of this land. Upwey South is a 5-hectare open space and bushland reserve. It has a tennis court, netball court, a public toilet and a small play space. Upwey South Reserve is part of a series of public reserves along the Ferny Creek corridor. We have Brooking Street Reserve upstream from here, and downstream we have Hume Street Reserve and Glenfern Valley Bushland. Collectively, these reserves make up a large wildlife corridor along Ferny Creek. There is a trail network throughout the reserve. People come here to use the open space for picnicking and to engage with nature along the bushland trails next to Ferny Creek. The bushland section of the reserve is approximately 3 hectares in size and supports a diverse range of plants and animals. Birds often seen in the reserve include magpies, kookaburras, butcherbirds and tawny frogmouths. We also see powerful owls, satin bowerbirds and even a whipbird. Some mammals you might see in the reserve include Eastern Grey Kangaroos, Echidnas and some possums, and we also see some skinks and the occasional snake. Several years ago we created a new wetland in a previously unutilised wet section of the reserve. We did this in conjunction with the Upwey South Friends of Group. Since then we've found that frogs are now utilising the wetlands. These include the southern brown tree frog and the striped marsh frog. The most exciting part of the new wetland is how the local children have engaged with the space, using it as a natural play space. Although the predominant vegetation type is swampy gum, riparian woodland, in the drier sections of the reserve we see more of a mess-made open forest style of vegetation with a thermiter understory. One of the common middle story species you'll find in the reserve is sweet Passeria. We also have hazel pomaderus and Victorian Christmas bush. Over the past decade the reserve has received extensive woody weed management. So initially we went through and removed all the woody weeds, predominantly sweet Vitostrum, willows and Willow-Hakea. What we found once the woody weeds were removed was a native species called Thermiter triandra or kangaroo grass, and we find this species throughout the whole reserve now. I'm standing next to Ferny Creek looking at some of the revegetation work we've done down here. We did that in conjunction with Melbourne Water through their Corridors of Green grants. We planted several middle story species that are now stabilising the creek bank and improving the water quality along Ferny Creek.
Hi, I'm Ian Rainbow. I'm a member of the Friends of Upwey South Reserve. We formed in late 2017 and since then we've met every last Saturday of every month, weeding and planting. We've asked the council to modify their mowing regime to allow natural regeneration of the local species from the soil seed bank. In this case behind me we've got mostly kangaroo grass, but there's also some Microlina in there, but often there are small herbaceous species such as lilies. We found a prostrate goodenia here that we'd never seen in the reserve before.
Thanks for visiting Upwey South Reserve. Hope to see you down here soon.